What is going on, Browns fans? Welcome back to the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. I'm your host, Justin Harold. Today, we're bringing you guys some breaking news. It has only been 3 days since the Browns lost to the Houston Texans in the first round of the playoffs. And we are on Wednesday. It is currently 10:40 a.m., January 17th, 2024. And we have this breaking news from Mary Kay Cabot, who I will put up on screen right here. Hopefully, you guys can see all this. But per Mary Kay Cabot, Browns shaking up offensive staff. OC Alex Van Pelt remains under contract during eval, but Josina Anderson reports he told people he's been let go. Running back coach Stump Mitchell fired, and tight end coach TC McCartney not retained per source. Now, why some people might be a little bit confused as to what's going on there is because of that little tidbit about Alex Van Pelt, the OC, being retained, not officially being let go as of yet. However, I will take us to the tweet from Josina. Well, actually, first, I'll bring us to this one that she covers, but just another tweet covering the situation here from Ian Rappaport. The Browns are going through the offensive staff role evaluation process, source said. Running back coach Stump Mitchell has been fired, as Josina Anderson reported. Tight end coach TC McCartney will not be retained. OC Alex Van Pelt remains under contract with no other final decisions made. That being said, this is what Josina had to say. I'm told Alex Van Pelt informed some of members of the team yesterday. He was let go Tuesday afternoon upon hearing the specific news and received messages of condolences to that end, along with Mitchell and McCartney per sources. Now, obviously, a very interesting move coming out of that loss on Saturday, and I'm sure a lot of people are there's a lot of questions to be asked. Stump Mitchell was one of those guys who, just like Bill Callahan, who there is no reports of as of right now on his situation with the team. But just like Bill Callahan was someone who was praised for their work with the position group that he had. Obviously, he had the running backs, a Nick Chubb, benefactor, or a Nick Chubb influencer, and thus, Kareem Hunt, who has been here for the past 3 to 4 years, who, has played well in the past. And then Jerome Ford, who I think, for someone who has to, be the guy after Nick Chubb, had a pretty decent season for a second year running back. Obviously not the greatest. And I think towards the end there really started to fall apart. Hopefully getting Nick back will help that a little bit. But that all being said, again, the kind of questions to be asked here is, why are just Stump, McCartney, and Van Pelt going? What does this mean exactly? What are we going to be doing with those positions? Are we going to be going and getting specific guys? Are we going to kind of just go and do what we did with Jim Schwartz last year and go and find someone to bring in some of their own people with them? What does this mean for Kevin Stefanski? Obviously, we all know that Kevin Stefanski is the obviously the head coach, but the runner of the offense. We know he is the play caller and everything. And something that I think has always been a tumultuous talking point with his tenure here in Cleveland is his play calling ability and his willingness to give it up or to hand it out to others. And so Alex Van Pelt. I don't know that there's much you can say about what he did for this team and what his job really was outside of being the quarterback's coach, because for me, I just never saw any influence from him since he's been here. I don't think that any of the quarterbacks that we've had underneath him have, been greatly affected by his coaching. And so I think it's great to go and get a new face. And something that I had seen on Twitter was like, if your coaching staff isn't getting poached after 3 to 4 years, then it's a sign that you need some new faces in there, which again they did with Jim Schwartz last year. They got rid of Joe Woods, and boom, look at what happens. The defense jumps into categories that it never had any chance of in those 3 years with Joe Woods. And so I think this is a great move. It'll be interesting to see what names potentially come out. Obviously, Jeff and I have already talked between the two of us and whatnot, but haven't put too much thought in. And I don't know too many. I wasn't expecting offensive coordinators, to be honest with you. I thought it was a possibility. But that being said, I will do my research. Obviously, Jeff and I did, though, say like an Eric Bieniemy would be a crazy one. But I know that there's the quarterback coach from Houston who obviously did great work with CJ Stroud. I don't know if he's going to be a part of the offensive coordinator staff, but if he's a guy that you can get as an OC for himself, maybe that would be a good move. Bieniemy's probably not a realistic choice just because I think he's a head coach. And then the OC that got fired from the Bills earlier on in the season, my buddy, shout out to Danny Gutierrez. He's been saying that he wants that guy for the Bears. So that'll be something to look into. I'll be back with another video on potential candidates if there isn't fast moving news with hirings and whatnot before then. But with that all being said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing. Comment down below. What do you guys think of these moves? Do you think this is the right decision? Do you think this is the right move going forward? What do you think this really has an impact on for the future? And yeah, with that all being said, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.